I'm bringing this talk to you guys for a few reasons. One, because I think the idea of clinical scholarship is an important one, and I don't think we talk about it enough. And I'll kind of get into what that means in a bit. First off, I have no disclosures to make. I have only a salary that's paid for my role at St. Joe's to be the lead of quality and safety in the emergency department. But other than that, I have no funding to declare to this group and have no work that I do for not-for-profits that are declarable in this. My objectives in this talk are to define quality improvement scholarship and to talk to you a little bit about what scholarship is writ large, and then have a little bit of a discussion around what it looks like in quality improvement. And then also to understand the minimum requirements for creating scholarship in quality improvement. And in doing that, I want to propose to you maybe a unique model of thinking about what scholarship in quality improvement is, and therefore scholarship in clinical scholarship in quality improvement, or clinical scholarship for that matter in anything looks like. So if we spend a few minutes really thinking about what defining scholarship looks like, obviously we aren't the first people to be thinking about this. There are very clever and talented individuals who have done this long before us. And so this is Boyer's model of scholarship, which originated from the Carnegie Foundation, I think in 1990. And really, what Boyer puts forward is this idea of four very specific areas of scholarship that everybody should consider, right? One is the scholarship of discovery, which is the building new knowledge. One is the scholarship of integration, which is bringing in all kinds of information from different areas and expertise areas and even domains and knowledge disciplines and bringing them to bear on a specific problem. The other is the scholarship of application, which largely means, to have somebody show us how to apply a specific set of knowledge in a specific context and be that translator in order to enable the knowledge to be gained or to be moved across a specific boundary. And then obviously the scholarship of teaching last, how do we develop a strategy by which we can impart knowledge in an effective way? And so if I'm going to summarize this in kind of small catchphrases, it's, whoa, look at this new finding, right? This is a scholarship of discovery. This is something new that nobody knew before. And this is what I'm bringing to you. The scholarship of integration this is how all this knowledge applies in this specific context. This is how we bring all this interesting stuff from all these different places. And look, it does something. And this is how we do it here. Third is, let me help you apply this knowledge in this specific area. I'm going to be the expert and I'm going to help you translate this, and that's going to be my scholarship value that I'm going to bring to all of this. And lastly is this demonstration of this is how you best teach the knowledge in this scenario or in this context. But interestingly, Boyer puts forward a fifth model after this is published later in his life. In fact, the model is put forward in publication posthumously. And this last one is an idea of a form of scholarship called the scholarship of engagement. And Boyer passed away in December 1995, and this is published in 1996. And I think this is the model that we really need to be thinking about for quality improvement more specifically, but as you'll see, there's probably a broader application as well. So the whole notion of this is brought forth by the idea that the academic environment actually has an obligation to be able to translate its knowledge, its learnings into the everyday environment, into the place in the society and the group and the people that we live in as every day. If knowledge is only good for the purpose of knowledge and it can't be brought back to society, then what ultimately is the value of knowledge? And that's kind of the point that Boyer brings forward. And so there's this then idea that we need to be participating in building a just society and to make, our surroundings more civil and secure. And this is where I think we really need to be thinking a lot more about quality improvement and more specifically, even work in health equity or work in health policy that isn't properly captured, in fact, in those other areas, probably is well captured here. And really, if I'm going to provide you with a synopsis, much like I did in the other categories, it's this idea of this is how you can use this knowledge or process to make the world a better place. And this gets to then start talking about what it means to do that in quality improvement. And so if we're going to recap these, you'll see the domains of scholarship on the left hand of your screen. This is a pretty classic visual that's put forward for this. And then this additional idea of a fifth area of the scholarship of engagement. Now, let's talk a little bit about what that would mean in the context of QI. And so The scholarship of discovery, and I'm going to be a little bit facetious here. So this miraculous strategy prevents, in-hospital falls all the time. If you apply it in your setting, it's going to fix the problem, at least in large part, almost anywhere. And so that would be like a discovery and quality improvement. I was going to use the hand washing application, but obviously in this context, I think the pandemic has largely fixed that for us, for better or for worse. In the next areas, for application, we've created an infrastructure of workflow policy that allows our healthcare providers to more reliably understand and successfully apply QI interventions within their setting. So, we've figured out how to do this work and have it translated into the academic environment, or I am the expert who figured out a way to take these ideas and make it happen on the ground. And that's really the scholarship of application in this context. This is how you can best teach QI for retention and the creation of experts at the undergraduate medicine level as an example, which would be, the idea of teaching quality improvement and the scholarship of teaching. And lastly, we integrated behavior change strategies from sports, business, and healthcare into one model that predicts and changes behavior for, a quality improvement purpose. And so that would be the scholarship of integration. And as you sit there, you can think, okay, maybe the scholarship discovery is actually really hard to get to. It's not a self-evident thing in quality improvement to get to. And maybe application would be useful. And you can see how you can become an expert in that and develop some scholarship there. But a lot of the teaching stuff is actually already happening and well-published, and there's not a ton of space there anymore. And this behavior change from different areas is probably a burgeoning area where quality improvement is going to start talking about administrators. But what about that person we all know who dedicates their career, their lives to actually taking published knowledge and changing the lives of patients every single day, of getting outcomes that are meaningful, of translating those articles into lives saved, or less time in hospital, or more time at home, or better quality of life? And that's really this idea of scholarship and engagement. And it's communicating our patients are achieving better outcomes because of improvements we made to the processes of care. And we need to start talking about that. We need to really start promoting that. We need to lean on that as the way to move forward as a promotional base for quality improvement and for all kinds of other work we do in healthcare. It means that obviously discovering new things, advising on the application of different skills and knowledge, integrating knowledge from many fields, or discussing teaching paradigms can all be QI scholarship, but it also means that applying knowledge to improve patient and societal outcomes is scholarship. And I put an asterisk there because some convincing will be required, and some places are more ready to accept this than others. So consider this scholarship. This is upon us. This is our mission moving forward. This is what I'm tasking all of us to do, is to take this work that is about bringing the knowledge that exists somewhere, that's novel, that's new, that's in the academic institution, and bringing it back to the grassroots of everyday life for everyday patients. That is the scholarship and engagement that you all need to consider and do. We're moving forward on this idea. We're going to be doing a little bit of publishing around this idea. We're going to be thinking about it. We're going to be starting putting things forward. And so if folks are interested and started thinking, talking, dialoguing about this, please reach out. And obviously, we're shaping models of promotion. You all have a task there as well. So if you can reach out into your departments and look for some promotion availabilities within this idea of scholarship engagement, please do that. And then seek promotion for those of you who are doing quality improvement within more traditional scholarship venues. So look for those opportunities with the goal of then to expand into this idea of scholarship and engagement. Be a little bit of a trailblazer. Provided a handout in the webpage for a quick synopsis. So if you guys wanted to run with that, please find it there. It's there. And obviously, if there's any questions or comments, we'll be happy to take them. Thanks, Teresa and Ruth.